Available now on Blu-ray from Arrow Video is a movie called Hell High from 1989. It was actually shot in 1986, but it didn't get released for a while. And it's a movie I'd always heard of. I think I had always confused it with Horror High and Return to Horror High and other thing, Hell Night or something like this. So it was a movie I thought I knew what it would be, and it was something very different. So this is the tale shot in and around New Rochelle, New York, which is right near where I'm recording this right now, which was kind of wild. As we were watching it, Val was recognizing various places. She's like, wait a minute, I know that place. Hey, that's New Rochelle High School. So it's a group of kids, bored kind of loser punk kids, who decide to terrorize a teacher that they kind of either don't like or wronged them or they have the hots for or something like that. So they decide they're going to, do bad things, and things go very, very wrong from there. Not really a horror movie until about an hour in. Most of it is about these sort of aimless youth and them looking for kicks and stuff like that. And then once the plot kicks in with the teacher, then it's really more akin to something like I Spit in Your Grave or Last House on the Left, actually, where it's like a home invasion, just kind of skeevy, nasty people doing nasty things to somebody who doesn't deserve it kind of movie. The tone is really weird, not even when the villain is finally dispatched, it's like super abrupt and kind of silly, and you kind of have to stop and go, wait, what just happened? How did that, like, you kind of have to rewind it to watch it twice. And the ending is kind of silly. So I didn't really care for this movie. I was never sure if it was supposed to be funny or not. There's an opening, like a preamble, opening prologue, if you will, scene where something happens to somebody, and again, it happens so abruptly and ridiculously that I'm like, is that supposed to be funny? So I could see where this movie, it never really found an audience. The distributors didn't know what to do with it. The extras are voluminous, which I always find interesting, even if it's a movie I don't like. With Arrow, they give you so much context for most of the releases that they do. It's like, what was this and why was this? And you watch the extras and they'll answer that for you. So we had interviews with the cinematographer, you have interviews with the director, you have interviews with a lot of the crew on camera and commentaries. This had previously been released by, I want to say, Image on DVD, and Joe Bob Briggs. It was part of the Joe Bob Briggs line of DVDs. So it's got the original video introduction that Joe Bob did, and the original Joe Bob commentary, which is funny and interesting because that's Joe Bob's deal, is that he'll give you actual information, but he'll also crack wise here and there, and it'll be funny. So loaded with extras. Transfer looks great. If you are from the Westchester County, New York area, it's kind of fascinating for it being shot around places There is a location featurette with Michael Gingold, who goes around to the various locations then and now. So you see a clip from the movie, and then he'll explain what it was like when they shot it, how things have changed since they shot it, and what it looks like now. And I find that kind of stuff fascinating for almost any movie, just how any place changes over time, and when multiple places are combined to create a place. Like they used this exterior for the school's outside, but the inside was shot somewhere else. The football field was somewhere else, all that kind of stuff. And the extras really delve pretty deeply, like down to the fact that this movie had multiple titles. Like the on-screen title is Real Trouble. And then there was another one called, they show alternate titles or alternate TV ads or something. One's called Raging Fury, which I think might have been the foreign title. And there was one, I think that might have been all of them, but there were multiple. So you get TV spots, you get all the extras that were, and I love it when Arrow and anybody does this, all the extras that were on the previous release, the Joe Bob release, all those director and cast interviews, those have been ported over. So you really hear from a lot of people who were involved in making this movie. And it's overall a fairly well-made film. I just didn't find it effective as a horror movie, and I didn't find it didn't connect with me well enough. It seemed a little bit more laughable than it did anything else when it wasn't probably intended to be laughable, but it is interesting through the extras to go back and see the recollections of the people who made this film, who put everything they could into making a good movie, and where their lives took them and how this might have been a stepping stone or lessons they learned on this that they took to other things. So it's a really good package. It's a really good transfer. I just didn't think it was a very good movie. Available now. There's one for your re-release box cover. That's available now on Blu-ray from Arrow Video.